Okay, we're live and good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Slim Nation and Slim Talk. My name is James Slim Overton, and I have a special guest here with me this morning. Let me turn the music down a little bit. All right, still heard back there, but I'll work on that. But I wanted to introduce our guest this morning, and she's none other than Yolanda Hinton. And she's a lady that wears a lot of hats, and most of them are fashionable, you can see. But she wears a lot of hats in this industry. And I think she started a show, her with Ed Everett at WGPL 1350 AM on your dial. And make sure we support our Black media. Make sure we do that because the content we get from our Black media sometimes is different from what you might normally get. We go in depth about our communities and other subjects. But anyway, I think we start. FYI is one of her shows that she has on WGPL 1350, and she streams that on a lot of different platforms. And I think we started that. You started that around 2015. Am I correct?
Good morning, James.
Good morning.
That show, FYI radio show, is started. It's going to be 7 years in November.
Okay, that's about the same time I started there with the solo program I had, and it was called Seven Cities Forms of Hampton Roads Sportsman's Edition. And I did that for about 5 years, and then I added my cousin, we called the Colonel, as another host. And then I got real wise and said, let me add a lady on there and get a lady's perspective on everything that we do, and which transitioned into Portsmouth Coffee Talk. And, it's been going well, especially since we added that lady. I have to give her props for that, Leah Drake Stick. But anyway, we're here for you today, Yolanda, and we appreciate you giving us time and with this Slim Nation. But first, I want you have a company called Cristo Community Corporation. And before we go into the event that you are planning, tell us a little bit about that corporation, how long it's been around, and their purpose.
Yes, James. Cristo Community Development Corporation is a 501c3 organization founded by yours truly, Yolanda Hinton. Became a 501c3 2004, and we are giving back to the community. Not only that, we develop young leaders. And so I was inspired to being in the music industry. The Lord really blessing me in the industry and with my music. I wanted to give back, and I wanted to work with children, which was a lifetime dream for me, to work with the youth. And so now I have the opportunity with Cristo Community Development Corporation, and we're doing a lot of great things. We mentor kids through programs called Young Men and Women Achieving Success. Those programs have been up and going since 2006. Our sites are in Chesapeake with our Young Women Achieving Success, and our young men, we're in Norfolk, Virginia. And so we are so excited about the things that have gone on in Cristo and the things that we do for our community. It just seems like yesterday to me, James. And all of a sudden, I find myself years later, here it is 2022, feeling really good about what's going on in our Cristo Community Development Corporation organization.
Yeah, and it's always great when you can have the opportunity to give back to your community, a community in most cases that raised you. And, a lot of lessons were learned when you were growing up, and to be able to give back like you're doing, it's a great achievement and probably a labor of love for you, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I love what I'm doing. I'm getting to love it more and more and more. We just came through this pandemic. We're recovering from it. But, a lot of things were put on hold. But, through just inspiration during that time and faith, I kept going, building a scholarship fund for our programs, and also developing a book and a lot of different things that's going to come in handy as we move forward through this pandemic with Cristo and the community.
And you know, you said a lot of things slowed down during the pandemic, and but one thing, some of the things that didn't slow down was bullying. You know, even if the people or the children or whoever was involved with bullying didn't have that personal contact, there's a lot of bullying going on this medium here on social media platforms. You know, TikTok and all, and it can get real serious. That bullying, some people take it really serious enough, and we've even seen incidents of suicide behind
Yes.
bullying, and that's exactly how serious it is. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with the program or the event that's coming up. I think you've been involved with this for a while, but tell us
Yes.
about that leading up to the event that's coming up this Saturday on October 15th.
Absolutely. Bullying is a big problem. And James, I didn't pay attention to it until I was facilitating a program for the state. It was Too Good for Drugs, anti-drug and anti-tobacco program for the youth. And so, it was so many children. It was up to maybe 200 children, not enough supervision. And I saw bullying firsthand, kids bullying adults,
Hmm.
adults bullying kids, and adults bullying adults. And I said, wait a minute, something is wrong with this picture. And so I turned my attention also to bullying, and I said, I need to do something about it. I need to address it. And especially having my own organization, I said, this is the perfect time to pull this in to our programs. And so I started doing research, James, and I found so many parents, grandparents, children, schools at their wits' end about this problem called bullying. And I said, wait a minute, I'm going to move forward to do research and also to write a book about this problem. And then I began to have rallies. And you're right, it didn't start just today or Saturday with this initiative about bullying. It was in 2014 when I first had my dinner and a dialogue with leaders. I had youth meetings, pizza and a dialogue, had rallies, and did so many things to address it. And like I said, the pandemic came and we had to go through that. I find myself now back in the groove, back ready to rock and roll, James, because
Yes.
it's time. It's still here, just like you said. It's a tremendous problem. It's not child's play, and it continues to really wreak havoc in the schools. When I was coming back from Atlanta just recently, I talked to a parent. Well, she actually worked in the airport, and she began to talk about her 12-year-old daughter who is suicidal. And as we talked, she began to say, hey, it's a bully problem. It's a bullying problem, and I don't know what to do. And so I said to myself, this is really timely to continue with this initiative, with the rally. The rally is coming up on Saturday. We want to make people more and more aware of the problem, and we want to find solutions. So the rally wherein we're coming together and we're going to hear speakers and things like that, we're going to sit down and talk. We're going to have a dialogue, and we're going to talk to our youth. We're going to talk to our school leaders. We're going to talk to our leaders that are senators and councilmen. And we're going to find out how in the world can we resolve, and eradicate this problem.
Yes, indeed. And I hope during that session that, you said the youth will be involved, and they
Yeah.
will have plenty of time to lend their voice to the situation, because often I've been involved years ago in something where we all came together for the sake of youth, and
Yes.
the adults took over the
I
conversation,
know.
and the youth that were there got up and walked out because they said, well, I thought this was for us, and it was a time for some of the adults to highlight themselves. But I don't think this will be the situation in your rally, but hopefully the youth will feel comfortable in speaking out, because that's, you said earlier about doing your research, and that was
Yes.
very important too, to have those numbers and know how widespread it is, and then giving those youth an opportunity to share what they've been through, because you and I can remember being youngsters, and I was
Yes.
back there longer than way back before you. But anyway, I can remember being young, and bullying has been going on for a while. It just depends
Yes.
on how you can take it. Most people had big brothers they could go home, and I grew up as the only child, so I had to deal with
Wow.
it. But I never remember it being as serious as this. Well, I wanted to go home and do something to myself. But that was just me. It could have been going on, and we just didn't pay attention to it as much with other kids. I know some kids might have acted out in a certain way. We didn't know why, because some kids
Yes.
didn't really want to come to school because every day they were faced with somebody bullying them back, and they had no recourse. So I think this is just so important, and I hope a lot of people participate or involve with not only what you're doing this Saturday, but continuing with what you're going to continue to do with
Mhm.
bullying and any other causes that you bring up, because you're very involved in the community.
Mhm.
And we need people to step up and do what you're doing to make sure that we can, like you said, eradicate this.
Yes. Thank you, James. I'm telling you, it's a problem, but we're so glad that we're able to come together this Saturday, October the 15th, at 11 a.m. And we're going to have speakers. We're going to have Senator Lionel Spruill. We're going to have Les Smith, who's running for city council.
Mhm.
We have a young man who's an artist, and he's experienced extreme bullying, but he has recovered, and he is no longer a victim. His art is actually absolutely beautiful, and he'll be there to talk to our youth. We'll also have pizza and a dialogue where they can express themselves and
Mhm.
tell us, you know, how their experience with bullying, why, they feel like it is a problem, and why they need us to help all of us to come. We need all of us to come together to solve this problem of bullying. So they'll have pizza, and they'll have this thing called Wild and Out Bullying, where they express themselves through music, through rap. And we also have a surprise musical guest who is really going to really have a good time with our youth. They'll get a chance to speak up and speak out and hear from other youth that have gone through bullying themselves, being a bully, and then those that have been victims of bullying, and they have reformed and recovered. And so, it is all about them, and it's all about parents paying attention to what this thing is. Just like you said, at one time it was James. It was probably just knocking a stick off your shoulder. Come on,
Yes.
knock this off. It has gone to the extreme, especially with cyberbullying. This thing on the internet is a terrible monster, and it's wreaking havoc so much. You have kids that are depressed, suicidal, they've been threatened, and so some have committed suicide.
Mhm.
And so we need to get a hold of this thing. And so we're addressing the bully, we're addressing the victim and the bystander, because the bystander plays a great, important role in this thing, James. Some people are helpless looking on, but then there are some people that love it as a sport, and they egg it on and they push it on and they make the problem bigger and bigger, because a bully loves an audience. And
Right.
so he gets his audience through his peers, his friends, cyberspace. I mean, he can just conjure up anybody. You don't even have to know them, and they'll attack. And so it's a problem, because people don't want to just, like I said, knock the stick off. They want you dead. They want to take your life, even if it's not physical. They want to take your esteem.
You're right, right, and that's very important. The self-esteem is very important, and when you lose that, it's a sad case for, and you know, kids growing up should be able to enjoy themselves. I remember enjoying myself as a child, and even through high school, just having a good time. I wasn't worried about, my next meal or where the light's going to be on. That was my parents' duty. But
Yes.
a lot of kids now go through that. But I hope this is also will be a lesson to the people that bully. That the consequences of being on that side of it. If they watch the news, they can see cases where some kids are taken to court
Absolutely.
because they told someone to kill themselves and the person actually did it.
Yes.
And indirectly, you can be charged for that particular incident.
Yeah.
So it also has to be a lesson for those people that bully, and some of them don't realize the harm that they are doing. Some of them do, but
Yeah.
there are those that don't realize the harm that they are doing, and they need to hear that too. So I hope in the audience with those youth, it'll be some of the people that are bullied, that
Yeah.
are bulliers.
Absolutely. The book that I wrote, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose,
Mhm.
is from the bully's perspective. He
Mhm.
tells why he bullies, he tells who he bullies and targets. And in the next book, he is actually going to reform. But we definitely are going to address the bully and bring tools for him. And Cristo Community Development Corporation, as well as myself, have come up with some things, some tools, some solutions, some remedies, antidotes for the bully, and also for the victim and bystander. I'm so excited about it. And yeah, we are definitely got all of them in the mix, and we have not forgot the bully. The bully can come out, James. The
Mhm.
bully can come out to the rally because we got something to help him to reform.
Yeah, especially those ones that don't realize that that's what they are. They're
Yes.
bullies. But you mentioned your book. So how can people get the book if they wanted to get the book and be able to share with the youth, or even adults need to read this book, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Bullying is right underneath your nose. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble Kindle. You can actually go on my website, CristoRecords.com. That's CRISTO records.com. And there's a link. As soon as you open the page, you'll see Bullying is right underneath your nose. It will take you where you can buy that book. You can download it. Or you can come out to the rally. I'll be there signing the book. You can get a hard copy as well. So it's out there, James, and they can get it. They can read it, share it with their children. It's going to be it's in one of the libraries here in Virginia Beach, but it will soon be in other libraries in the area. But right now you can download it, and then you can come out to see us on Saturday, October 15th.
Yes,
And enjoy.
keep saying that date and that book as well. And I know it's be informative book, because you mentioned earlier it's important for parents and youth, our children alone,
Yes,
not alone, but as well to recognize the signs of bullying, of the difference, the change in the attitude of the kid that's being bullied, him acting out in a violent way sometimes. You
yes,
don't know why, because at school he's catching it.
yes,
He's really catching it, and uh, forced will threaten not to tell, or
yes.
it's going to get worse on him. So, you shouldn't hold that kind of thing inside, especially for a young child, because it can have ramifications
Yes.
later on in life. Where where he really needs some help, or he might act out in a way and turn into a bully himself.
I know it. We want parents to be aware of it because we have a parent, her daughter began to talk with us, and she did not realize, the mother did not realize she was being bullied. Her daughter was being bullied. Her daughter was at the extreme. She wanted to stop school. She wanted to commit suicide. And her mother really felt guilty that she didn't even know it was going on. And so at the rally, we really want to bring awareness, what it is, what it looks like, and how you can kind of tell that something is going on with your child and that you need to further investigate. So that's one of the things we want to accomplish, is bringing awareness to parents and adults that anywhere children are, there's usually this problem of bullying. Anywhere people are, you may find a bully.
Yeah.
So we want people to really pay attention. Just like I said, James, I really didn't pay attention that much to it until I was faced with it. And then I
Mhm.
said, uh-oh, this thing is really a problem.
Yes, indeed. And the schools are doing a lot to bring
Yeah,
attention to bullying, and you need it to come from all areas as far as addressing it, and your community efforts. It needs to be in the community as well, because some people are not as involved in the schools, even though
yeah,
their children are going there as they should be. So you have to just come from all different angles to address this bullying situation and how serious it is. Some people wave it off, but That's why we appreciate what you're doing, and all the other people that are doing something, standing up against bullying. But our focus today is on what you're doing and the event this Saturday. And you can repeat that again. Repeat it as many times as you need be, so people can get it. The more you repeat it, the more it's up here. And
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, it's October the 15th. It's this year. It's on Saturday, actually, at 11 a.m. We have some great speakers. We have the Honorable Senator Lionel Sproul, and he's been a part of our anti-bullying rallies. One thing I can say about him, he will come out and support the people, and he's going to come out. He's going to talk with our youth, our parents. We also have Les Smith, who's running for city council in Chesapeake. He's going to talk about this problem of bullying. He has a nonprofit boys program. And I mean, it is really important to really get under our boys. We have a lot of things for our young ladies, but our young men need programs and mentoring as well. And so he'll be out along with Sean Cunningham, who is a wonderful artist who has an experience with bullying and has recovered. And he'll be sharing some great things with the kids. Also, Chesapeake Police Department, who is coming out to bring some goodies for our youth. They're going to really enjoy that. We have the activities, pizza and a dialogue, where it's like everybody, get a chance to talk about how they feel about bullying and solutions. We are definitely on point to find solutions. And then we'll do Wilding Out Bullying. We'll also have George Wilson, who is the Reverend George Wilson, who is the youth pastor there at New Galilee Baptist Church. And we'll have Alan Ellis and Almani, we have mimes, we have a special guest, we have myself with the book. And it's going to be a fun, informative event, the first of many after going through the pandemic. And we're just excited. We want people to come out. We want people to support because it's a critical thing going on in our schools. Anywhere where children reside, it's been a problem with bullying. And so we want people to support and tell us how we can get rid of this tremendous problem.
Well, thank you. And as we wind down this conversation, I'd like to say, and you mentioned about and one thing, it's not just a Chesapeake thing.
Yeah.
Encourage everybody watching, everybody that gets the message about this event from all our 7 cities, to attend this. And if you're a candidate and you're running for something, or you can attend that too, because that's where you get the pulse of the people. And it's important to you to talk to the people and our youth, so you'll know, because a lot of times you'll be in a position to make policies, concerning this bullying that might help, because you have to have a multifaceted approach to bullying, and sometimes policies have to be put in place. So if your candidates are out there, make sure you approach them and tell them what your interests are, because that's who you vote for. You vote for people who have your interests at heart. And a lot of times they don't know until you approach them and let them know. So it's a great opportunity for that too as well. And like I said, again, it's not a Chesapeake thing. It's a 7 cities thing. So make sure everybody comes out to that. And you might learn something, just like both of us. We didn't realize how serious bullying was, and I didn't until years later. So come out to the event. And I'll say last, and this is just about Yolanda. Everybody knows she is a very gifted singer.
Thank you. Yes, I love
her music. Yes, and she's recorded and has music out there. So I know this is about bullying, but maybe you can let people know if they want to hear some of your beautiful songs, how they can obtain those as well.
Thank you, James. Yes, you all can go online where music is sold anywhere and everywhere. Yolanda Hinton, that's Hinton, and go and enjoy some of the beautiful music that I've been given throughout the years, but even now with good music.
Yes.
Thank you,
Well,
James.
well, I appreciate, and Yolanda, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that information. And hopefully, we can have you back on Slim Talk to talk further about bullying, the results of this event, and what you've been seeing since you've been doing with the bullying. You'll be looking for results there, and come back and talk about what came out of it. What came out of it? I know it's going to be a lot of fun, but hopefully, some lessons will be learned as well. Especially
Thank
from our youth.
James, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for knowing that this is an important issue.
Yes, and I appreciate you. And thanks everybody for watching the Slim Nation and Slim Talk, and our special guest, Yolanda Hinton. And make sure you attend the event this Saturday, October 15th. Thanks a lot, and we appreciate you. And as always, be aware, be informed, and most of all, be involved. Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
James.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.